Hey, this is Nick with JTAC Precision. I'm at the Prestige Shooting Complex in Florence, Colorado, and today I'm going to show you how to write a dope card. I like to give credit to the instructors at JTAC Precision Rifle Training. A lot of the elements that I use in building my dope card came from the 2-day class that I took with them. It's a really good source if you're looking to elevate your game in the PRS, but it also has a lot of things that you can learn for other competitive shooting disciplines as well as hunting. For this example, I'm going to cover a 4-target troop line. First thing I'm going to do is locate my targets, and then I'm going to verify those distances. Once I have that information, I'm going to check the wind speed and the wind direction at my shooting location. Then I'm going to get on my binos and verify that what I'm feeling here at the shooting location is matching what I'm seeing downrange. Depending on where you're shooting, you can use vegetation like grass or the leaves on trees, or you can look at the mirage, and that's a really good indicator of wind speed and wind direction at your target. For collecting wind data, I'm using a Kestrel 5700 Elite with applied ballistics. There's a really handy feature on the Kestrel where you can quick toggle to the weather functions on the meter. How you get to that is you just double click the light button and it's going to pull up your weather meter. And then what you want to do is you go to wind speed by clicking up or down, and then you're going to want to go left or right, and it's going to show your minimum, your average, and your maximum wind speed. And that's a really handy screen and function for when you're setting up your wind columns. Now what I'm going to do is just stick the Kestrel up in the air, make sure the impeller is rolling, and start collecting wind data. Once I have that information, I'm going to toggle back to ballistics mode, enter in the wind speed and the wind direction, which today is about 630 or about 220 degrees from 2 to 5 miles an hour. Generally, I like to run my wind columns in 2-mile-an-hour spans. So for today, I would run probably a 2, a 4, and a 6. But depending on the conditions that I'm seeing throughout the day, like today the wind's kind of gusting up, I might add a couple extra wind columns on the high side. That way, if the conditions change, I'm not guessing on the clock. Once you have that information, you have wind speed, you have wind direction, you have target distance, then it's just about filling out those columns. And this is where you could argue that filling out 2, 3, or even 4 different wind columns might take a little bit too much time. But really, once you get in the habit of doing it, understanding the graduations will really become easier, and you'll be able to jot down that wind card a little bit faster. And then right before I get up to a stage, I'm going to check the wind one more time. I'm going to measure it, look downrange, talk with your buddies on the squad, and make a plan. Then I'm going to highlight that wind column, and that's generally what I'm going to stick with throughout the stage. But you also have that information available to you just in case you need to jump a wind column or you need to go down on your wind column. Then it's all about focusing on the target and making micro adjustments on the clock. But instead of just talking about this, we're going to actually show you here at Prestige how we're going to run this troop line on the clock.
All right, so we're moving over to voiceover here, and you can see I'm opening up with the 400-yard target here at Prestige. I'm going to open up with my 4-mile-an-hour wind call, which is 2/10 left. And you see there that I am just a touch left of center with that first shot. Target 2 is a small diamond that they have at 600 yards. This could be a pretty tricky target to hit. What I'm going to do here is I'm still going to work with my 4-mile-an-hour wind call. I have 0.35, but I'm going to actually take a shade off of this just because I was hitting left on the first target, and as you can see here, had a nice center punch on this one. Target 3 is at 652 yards. What we're not going to show here is ended up missing the first shot, having not enough wind, and this is where I actually had to move to my next column. I'm going to move to the 6-mile-an-hour column, and that's 5/10 left. You'll see here I hit the target, but actually I also hit a little bit high, right basically at the hanger. But this is a really good example of having to go up on my wind columns as the wind conditions have increased. So here we're on the final target on the troop line, 960 yards. And here we're taking a really big jump from 652 to 960. And this is just a really good example of having to move wind columns. What we're not going to show here is we did a good deal of missing on this target. It's about 3/10 wide, and so getting a really good wind call at that distance is really imperative. I actually had to move up to my 8-mile-an-hour wind call, which was 1.1 mils left to make that good center impact. And like I said, this is just a really good example. We started at 4 mile an hour and ended at 8, but all this information was right here on my card handy to me, so it was easy to make those adjustments.
Well, we hope this is helpful. As mentioned, it may seem like you're putting a lot of information on your dope card, but at the end of the day, it's all about eliminating guesswork while you're on the clock. That way, if you're seeing increasing or decreasing wind conditions, you can just look at your wind card, check that column, and keep rocking.